It really smelled under there. Somewhere between urine and white vinegar is where I would put the scent.
Deeply unpleasant.
Just so weird.
Yeah, totally alien.
We are talking about the ultra bizarre Violin Beetle from Thailand. This episode of Becoming Brave is brought to you by Summit Adventure Fuel. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Becoming Brave podcast. I'm your host, Mark Vins. I'm joined by
Andrew.
Andrew is back today to talk about another bizarre oddity from the animal kingdom that we have filmed for the Brave Wilderness channel. And this one
might be the most bizarre.
It's definitely strange. Up there. We just did the trilobite beetle, which I would consider the most exotic insect we've ever filmed and the most unique looking. But in terms of weird,
this is up there.
This is definitely up there. It's a solid number 2. Definitely gives the trilobite beetle a run for its money. Of course, we are talking about the ultra bizarre Violin Beetle from Thailand. So,
yes,
what's going on, Andrew? What's before we get into this,
the breakdown
of this behind the scenes making of the Violin Beetle, the acid spraying Violin Beetle.
Yeah, super weird.
Let's talk about some like current news events. What's going on in the world right now?
I'm just happy it's not raining. It's slated not to rain this weekend in Boston. We've had some great weather.
First time since November.
We've had 14 straight rainy days here in Boston, or rainy Saturdays in a row. 14 straight rainy Saturdays.
And
unbelievable.
And I'll do you one further. I know for a fact it's not even 14 straight. It's more than that because Sundays it's rained then all the way back to November.
Oh my gosh.
So literally,
rainy
guys,
weekends,
we have been getting rain here in New England every single weekend, and oddly enough, every Monday is beautiful.
Yeah, every Monday is beautiful. But it's been nice because like we get to take the public transport in now, and it's it's kind of like prime time for New England. So I'm happy.
Oh, I love the public transport here in Massachusetts. I must say, like I've only lived here now for 5 years, and I love the ferry transport. I take the ferry downtown all the time. I love it. I usually take it to the airport, like when we're traveling for our adventures. I will take the ferry into Logan Airport, and it is an amazing feat that they've been able to pull off with the timing. They never miss. It's so rare that ferry's late or they have to cancel due to bad weather. They run that thing every day they schedule it. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, the T's off schedule a little bit sometimes, but it's so cool that they run so often, and like it is just such a part of Boston culture. Like taking the T, like the public transport. It's like when you look at all of those people like in a packed train, you really think it really kind of drives home that like, oh my god, these people could be driving in, but they're not. So number one, you're saving on traffic and commuting time, and number two, I read somewhere that I think it's 2.2 tons of carbon can be mitigated by taking public transport per individual annually.
Really?
So it's like it's a substantial.
If you exclusively take public transport.
Yep. Okay, if you switch from commuting like via automobile to taking public transport, you can really do some saving. And like especially you really notice it when you're all together in a crowded train car. That like this is kind of all together. You're making a pretty big difference. And like when I get on the train, I see the same people every day. So it's so integral to part of so many people's commutes, which is definitely good for the planet. Especially
when you live in a small big city, which I consider Boston, that little big city, because you can drive into Boston daily if you want to, but there's great public transit options, and if you elect to do that, you're going to save time for yourself. Number one, it's a great add to your life, but also it's good for the environment. So if you live in one of those, metro areas where you could drive or could take public transport, give your public transport a try, because I found that it's actually more enjoyable, number one, and number two, like you said, does a whole lot of good for the world.
Bam. Plus Boston traffic is horrendous. Like you're honestly you're doing yourself a favor. Like sometimes it'll take like 90 minutes to drive from like I'm just outside Boston. It'll take 90 minutes to get 7 miles. It's like just do yourself a favor and take the public transport,
And if you're lucky enough to live near a waterway with ferry transport, I was always skeptical. Like, I'm not going to take a boat to work. I grew up in rural Ohio, right? So like the idea of taking
across the Great Lakes,
what are you going to take a canoe on the river? You know what I mean? If you live, I would say like in cities like Seattle, San Francisco, New England, I imagine down in the Gulf of Mexico, there's probably some ferries that you can take. Take advantage of it, because not only is it good, reliable transit, saves you time, but in the summer, it's nice. Like going on a cruise.
Yeah,
man.
It's a little cherry on top of a day.
Oh, dude! Sometimes when I end the workday leaving Boston, with the sun setting on the skyline and cruising out into Boston Harbor with it feels like you're on a cruise. It's
too good.
It's really, really good. Anyway, okay, cool. That's a good update. Good weekend weather coming to New England, finally. Knock on wood.
Yep.
We're going to hold you to that now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like the weatherman now. No, I'm bound to be wrong. But
yeah. You just got looped in with those guys. What other news is happening right now?
We do have some new merch in the Brave Wilderness store.
We do have new merch.
It's exciting.
Let's pull that up. We actually hand curated a lot of this stuff.
A lot of Turtle Frog merch.
Yes, which I'm really excited about, actually. It's shopbravewilderness.com is the actual web address if you want to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
But we're navigating through the website. Oh, man, there's me without a beard. That's an old photo.
That's a good photo.
Yeah, I like that photo. The three amigos, the original three. So, yeah, here's some of the collections. Brave Wilderness collection. So we have a couple of shirts in the Brave Wilderness collection, which I have a favorite.
Oh, God,
I'm going to just do this one right here.
Nice.
Got the Great White Shark, Brave Wilderness. We went with a little bit of a monochrome vibe, so it's not like in your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is I like this shirt, but it's definitely an old one. It's a little more understated than
pop branding.
Yeah,
I would call that.
Yeah.
This is more subtle branding. Really hones in on the shark. I love this feature.
Oh,
too.
that's cool.
Got
that's a new design for you. Yeah,
the Jaws vibe, but in a cooler way.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this new shirt. Mount Everest, Brave Wilderness. First Brave Wilderness piece of merch that features Mount Everest. Why? Because
cool.
Mount Everest is cool.
Yeah.
What other ones do? Oh,
this one's special.
Huge favorite. Those of you who follow my Instagram will know by now that, which at Real Mark Vins on Instagram, will know that I'm a big Metallica fan. This is an homage to one of my favorite Metallica shirts. And of course, instead of like skulls and vampires, we have bears.
It's pretty great.
And vipers. It
came out really good.
So I will be wearing. Actually, this is in the mail on the way to me right now. I'm so excited to wear this around this summer.
That's awesome. It's like it's in your face, but at the same time, like if you it's just awesome. I love the bullet point metal inspired design.
Yes,
it's so true.
Nature is metal, and now so is
good.
Shop Brave Wilderness. So those are like the adult tees that we just released. We also have some kids merch that I'm really excited about, which is where Brave Kids Collection right at the top. So we have a very limited edition line that we're starting called the Turtle Frog Edition, and these come in youth sizes and multiple colors. We'll just go to the pink one because turtle frogs are pink. They're the turtle frog. So we're gonna have all of these Turtle Frog limited edition shirts where the turtle frog is actually doing something that turtle frogs don't do, like personification here, but this one,
ukulele action.
Playing a little ukulele with the sombrero because why not? This one here, it's a turtle frog around a campfire. That's probably the most Brave Wilderness pose.
That is funny. The hat.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's probably going to be the biggest seller.
Oh, so funny.
And then this one, of course, being that it's summertime.
Water skiing turtle frog.
Water skiing turtle frog because, of course, if you were a turtle frog, you'd want to check out some water
Be on the
action.
water. Oh, yeah.
So yeah, anyway, those are brand new designs. We have some new hats too. If you want field gear,
I really like the new hats.
They're
pretty cool.
Yeah, the new field gear. Here's the new hat. This is the hat I will be wearing on our next adventure in August. We're actually going to a really cool one, but similar to my Summit Adventure Fuel hat, this is the Brave Wilderness edition.
Mm-hmm.
These are available now, ahead of appearing on Brave Wilderness, so that's kind of cool.
I love the orange on it. It's kind of got like the hardware kind of look. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it's got some utilitarian vibe to it.
Yes, it's like official gear.
Mm-hmm. I like the tan beige hat too. It's pretty cool. That would all rock.
Let's see, there should be one more piece. Oh, I guess I'm jumping ahead. There's some other new stuff coming up soon that we don't have out yet. But anyway, a lot of new stuff on the Brave Wilderness shop, shopbravewilderness.com. All that, all the sales of that go right back to Adventure Productions. So anytime you buy a piece of merch, you are supporting the Brave Wilderness Adventures themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I think that covers the news. Let's get into the action on this adventure. And that, of course, is a revisit and unpacking of our making of the amazing Violin Beetle production that we had in Thailand. Want to set up
Oh,
Thailand for us? Like, what was Thailand like for you going for your first time, Andrew?
Well, there is a massive jet lag effect because you are flipping your sleep schedule entirely.
Yeah.
Like 4 p.m. here is 4 a.m. there, so it's about as bad as it can get in terms of you can just see it a little bit on your face, just like there's a little.
I look
Fatigue.
a little lost.
Yeah.
A little bit like, oh, I'm definitely lost in the sauce.
And we were all a little bit lost in the sauce, and we had our guides with us, or especially with the reptile stuff, Max and Lockie from Australian Wildlife Encounters.
Shout out to Max and Lockie.
And
Always awesome.
They were making a very short flight from Australia in basically the same time zone, like maybe 2 hours of difference.
Mm-hmm.
So they were bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and we were kind of like haggling around a little bit. So it was definitely helpful to have them for the reptile stuff. But the Violin Beetle was kind of the Wild West for all of us.
Sure. And the reason why we pivoted, we weren't even going to look for the Violin Beetle. We were up in Kankerchan National Park, which is just north of Bangkok. And it was extremely dry.
Yeah.
So a lot of the reptiles and amphibians that we were looking for that were on our list were really challenging to find. Now, we did see some cool stuff. We saw like a monocled cobra. We did see some giant monitor lizards from afar. We saw a black panther, like an actual panther, which was awesome. But we weren't really finding a lot of the target species, so we were like, okay, what is active this time of year? And of course, one of the local guides mentioned, hey, have you ever heard of a violin beetle? Mm-hmm. And of course, we said, no, what's that? Now my antenna's up, my ears are up. And they're like, it's probably the most unique insect we have that lives in this national park. And
it is one of a kind.
It's one of a kind. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen a violin beetle. We're actually going to watch back this episode. But that's how we got into making this. We were dealing with really tough conditions, and then local knowledge strikes again, and of course leads us into this awesome video. So here we go. Let's take a look back. And we'll interject as we go along.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, in this video, we are searching the jungles of Thailand for one of the most bizarre insects. You can see how dry it is. Like, look at all the dry leaves on the ground.
Violin beetle. In an
violin
effort
beetle
to
right
see
there.
if it's truly as dangerous as the local legends say.
Let's get searching. Not only now, people in Thailand actually do fear
enormous, and they possess
this violin beetle.
Because as you're about to find out.
Mechanism. The violin beetle has the power to secrete and spray acid, which can make you go blind.
Crazy.
And we're going to catch one.
We just started our search here, and we've already come across something really crazy looking. Check this out. Hold on tight if you have arachnophobia.
Having fun.
That is a huge golden orb weaver. So while we're not on an island,
giant one
for island giganticism, that is the biggest golden orb weaving spider I have ever seen.
That one was a monster.
It was more like a crab than a spider.
It literally had the it looked like a whole plant in itself. It just took up such a massive footprint.
And for those, we may have talked over a little bit of the detail there. The reason we're on this creek is because violin beetles like decaying logs and wood.
Yep, they like a little bit of moisture, a little bit of decay, and they kind of just tuck up under there. And plus, it was so dry that it kind of concentrates the wildlife sometimes. Like if it's the wet season, if it's lush, things can kind of spread out a little bit more because there is more available moisture in the environment. But it being so dry, you can kind of see it in the drone shots. Like everything is definitely going to be really concentrated towards the rivers.
Totally. And what's unique actually about finding this insect, typically if we wanted to find a giant flying beetle or an insect, we would set up a light trap, which is where you basically hang a bed sheet and you put ultraviolet lights against it in a fly zone, usually on a game trail or at the top of a hill in a rainforest area, and then the bugs all come to you. That's how normally we would do this. However, this park borders Miramar, and it closes at night because it's actually dangerous to be out there at night. So they don't. This Kankerchan National Park in Thailand does not let you
go out at night.
So we had to go search for this animal a little differently. This insect, we had to go find it.
We had to go to it.
Yeah, we had to actually go to where it lives.
Yep.
So that made this adventure a little unique. And I know we were a little bit tentative doing this day because we're like, what if we don't find a violin beetle? We've lost the whole day because every day when you leave the United States and are that far away, every day is very precious. So it was a gamble.
It definitely was. And one of the mysteries for me was we talked about the violin beetle. We had seen what it looks like, but the scale of it was still kind of a mystery to us.
Yeah, was it going to be this big, this big, this big? You don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise, which you'll see as we work our way towards
to kick it off. Right away, we found this golden orb weaver, and I filmed a lot of these. This is by far the biggest one I've ever filmed.
Oh, here it is.
Whoa! Its
Look at
legs
the
were
size of that
almost
spider, guys.
as thick as like a
my
bamboo
goodness.
skewer that you'd use like on a kebab.
Yeah.
Look
And
at
it
that.
felt
Now, is he
like
dangerous at
very
all?
crab.
These
I could almost like
spiders possess
hear its joints
a really
bend,
painful bite.
if that makes
Luckily
sense.
for me, though,
Creaking
it takes a
away.
lot
You know when you
to
hear a
agitate
crab
them
kind
enough
of
to get
like
a chop. So
crawl?
just handle it
I
carefully.
could hear this
I'll be just
spider
fine.
crawling.
What a spider.
That's how you know you have a
Are
big
you
spider.
kidding me? Look at the
What did it
size.
weigh?
It's the
Like how much
biggest
did it?
golden
What did it
Oh,
feel
a
like
couple
it ran?
grams. Yeah,
Oh,
a couple
cool.
grams. Yeah,
This
it was
is a really
heavy.
good sign that we're on the right track. Up next, hopefully we find that giant insect that we're after. Let's put this
Luckily,
spider back. Keep
not
moving
a
up the
very
stream.
aggressive spider species. They are quite
These
toxic
violin
from what I
beetles
hear. If you're
are
bit by
really
one, it's
good
nasty.
at
Pretty
hiding.
nasty bite.
Prefers
Yeah.
darkness, tight crevices near water. So we are in the perfect spot to start our search. Crevices of rocks, fallen trees, and in
You
between
can even see in
sheets
that
of
ravine like how
fungus,
many dry
actually.
leaves are on the ground. It was unseasonably
Hey,
dry.
Andrew, I'm gonna try to
A
flip
lot of
this log
fires going
over
on out
underneath
there,
this.
too.
You have a good feeling about this spot? Well, big ant nest, huge ant nest.
Where?
Up top, right by your hand. Watch out.
Ah, got me. Well, first thing in Thailand. Got nailed by.
I would have said
Some
something
kind of
faster, but
fire
my
ant.
brain was literally from the jet lag.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
definitely
"It's
sting.
there's something
that.
going on."
Stuff.
Bad.
All right.
Danger.
Jet lag feels
that.
like a combination of having the flu
Monkey.
and
Guys, bring your cameras over here.
you know, being extremely tired.
this.
Like it's just hard. It's hard.
There's like a barrier between you and reality. It's
Yeah.
like there's like some sort of
see that?
veil. Like
You're in the
between
fog.
You and what's going on?
It's
yeah.
a fog.
So
Yeah.
you have to keep our wits about
And your
us.
brain just does
This
not work
jungle
well.
is home to leopards, bears, and even on occasion a tiger. Water, like the stream, is
Yeah, there
rare.
were tigers,
And during the
Bengal
dry
tigers.
season,
It's pretty crazy
drawn
that in that
Some
environment,
things that
like,
can be super hazardous
yeah, we're just saying it, but
for
like we
myself
saw
and
a
crew.
big cat in the wild,
We want to find
right exactly where
big
you would be
overhangs.
walking.
These
Maybe not
violin
Bengal. I think these
beetles
are actually Chinese
enormous.
tigers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
So
wouldn't
they're
make
gonna
sense if they're
prefer
Bengal tigers.
much larger
But
spaces
yeah, they
than,
were
say, like a little crevice
big,
like this
dangerous
rock.
cats.
Let's
big
go to
dangerous
the street.
cats.
Not seeing enough fungus. Do you want to see fungus, smell fungus? It should be damp. That is where.
So this one was unique
These insects
to like
spend
the search
almost the
because like none of us were
majority
experts in
of their
finding this
lives,
thing,
except
like
for their
including the
larval
guides
stage,
we were with.
where
Like
they'll actually
yeah,
live in
we
the
were
water.
really leading the way through the path trying to track down what's
Hey
going
guys,
on.
Speaking of crabs,
Crab.
Yes.
little forest crabs.
Cool. These are little forest crabs out here. And I bet they can pinch pretty good. Yeah, they can pinch pretty good.
Just had to test it.
Yep. Ow. Ow.
There's really not a
gosh, you got
pinchy
me.
thing that I find that I don't
Worst
test the
spot.
pinch.
Oh yeah.
At this point,
Gotta do it.
Let go of me.
It's on
You know, we've
brand.
never done a lobster pinch. I've never done one. Coyote has.
Be good for summer. Tis the season.
Didn't draw any
I'd
blood.
want to do it with like.
Pinched really good.
I'd want to find one of the rare
Crabs.
color morphs,
Up and
Oh,
down
yeah.
the
the
stream
blue
bed.
or the pink.
Kinda
I know
looks like a
Seco
short
Science
crab
Center in
that
New
you
Hampshire
find in a
has
tide pool.
usually
Not used to
has
seeing
some.
crabs
Like
near a
there's
stream.
the big
There are
lobster
a lot
industry
of
up there, and
them
they got like if a lobsterman catches
See all
a
that
weird
purple?
one.
Yeah, because it's like one in a few
Legs?
million.
Yeah.
They're very rare. I'm not sure we could do a pinch test with one, but just to film them.
Let's
would be
put
cool.
this crab back. See you, buddy. Finding more wildlife. This is a
That
good
was unique
sign.
about Asia. I
Feel
was
like
not
we're
prepared
honing
for how
in
many
those violin beetles. See this
freshwater
fungus?
crabs there.
This is
They were
exactly
everywhere.
what we're
It's
looking
not
for.
a-
These kind of logs
species
with
even
fungus
associated
growing
with
on them
forest.
are the
Or at least
perfect
I would.
habitat for the violin beetle. This is exactly what they like.
Now we're getting into this.
See anything?
Little bit of foreshadowing
Wow.
here. I finding this beetle, which we're about to see, was one of the most uncomfortable like circumstances I've ever been in. Catching an insect. So I just
Okay.
wanna- little foreshadowing for those who are following along for the first time.
They really wanted to be like jammed up in
Yeah.
hard to reach nooks.
The rest of the team found something. We're on our way.
What would a jungle adventure be
tail
without
race.
a snake?
This was a
All right,
cool
you guys rolling?
snake.
We're rolling. Okay.
Probably
Looks
one
like
of
it's gonna
my
stay put if I
favorite snakes. I'll go on a limb and say, pun intended. They are just so cool looking.
Turn back.
Perfect camouflage.
It's okay. They're non-venomous, but they are
Also
biting.
aggressive, which made it fun to catch.
Stay back. See if I can
Non-venomous, yeah.
Get it out
Yeah,
of the street.
non-venomous.
Good training.
They may be rear fang, but generally non-venomous.
Oh man.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to let it
Seen
chew on
biting
you.
me.
Some of the rear fang
Can you snake
colubrids
hook
can have a mild
Got it.
toxic.
See if
venom,
we can calm
but-
down. All right. There we go. That was intense.
So vibrant.
Definitely turned around and struck in a few times. Luckily, this is a non-venomous species of snake. It looks almost like a green mamba. In
It
a way.
really does look like
so
a green
there's like
mamba.
a part of my brain
I wonder if we.
that's like, don't get bit by the snake. See that? See it striking?
I wish we
Look
showed
how
a
it's flattening
comparison.
out
of this
its
video.
neck.
We should have thrown up a
The more
very
calm
shot.
I am,
Because the way they
calm the
flatten their
snake
neck out
pretty
Yeah.
rare
makes
to
them
come
look very
across one
mamba.
of these racers
Yeah.
because
So
typically
cool.
they're found much higher up in the canopies.
This snake
hunting
ended up being
for anything that it could fit in its
Max's
mouth.
lock
We're talking
screen for a while,
lizards,
I think.
frogs,
Really?
and
Yeah.
even birds. I just had to take this opportunity
Even the
to
way its
present
jaw
this
shape looks like a
beautiful
mamba.
snake up close like
Of course, they don't have that like black mouth.
We've got an audience of monkeys right overhead that are probably looking at me like I'm crazy. And all the things I've seen in Thailand so far, this is by far the coolest find.
You know, the camera really picked up the striking on the
Getting
snake.
close.
well.
Like we got
I
some
can
nice
feel it.
lighting for it
This
too.
is exactly the environment we need to search. See this underhang? I'm gonna get my flashlight out and I'm gonna get up under there. I have a feeling this is the perfect spot to find what we're looking for today.
You see something, Mark?
Oh my goodness.
Boom.
Guys.
Cluster.
Wedged up in there.
See him?
Oh yeah. Man,
It was a pod
Oh my
of
goodness.
Violin
There's
Beetles.
about 8 of them. And
it
see,
really
8 of them?
smelled
There's
under
about
there.
8 of them.
Oh,
They're
no.
all
It had a
underneath this
wet,
stump of
damp,
this log
like
here.
mold
And I feel like if I can
smell.
just get
Odor
my jar
and,
on top of them, we'll
mixed
have a good
with that
chance.
that sting
Getting
of
it into
the
an
acid.
film.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna use this. Wish me luck, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, and at this point, like we didn't know like how dangerous the acid was. Like again, the locals were very careful.
That's not working.
Are they moving
And,
around in
they
there?
they
they're fast.
did not want to catch it.
They're really fast.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they did
A lot
not
more
want to mess
challenging
with
than I
it.
thought. Oh. You guys smell that? Smell that jar. That's the smell of the acid they spray. That is pungent. Okay, I'm gonna need to use my sunglasses.
smells a
If I
lot
get
like
sprayed
white
in the eye,
vinegar.
this is
Yeah, it had,
one of
it
the
had
real
like a
dangers
kind
of
of like a
this animal
searing
is to
effect.
get it in your eyes.
Somewhere
The
between
locals down here
urine
say
and
that
white
you can go
vinegar
blind,
Yeah.
is where I would put the
so wear
scent.
these
Deeply
sunglasses.
unpleasant.
Yeah, not what you want, and very very
grab
strong.
Got one right here. Just want to try to get the catch.
Not quite as strong as like smelling salts, but they were on that
It's gonna
wavelength.
be gnarly. Got one. Got one. Got him. Got
Good get.
Yep, got the big one
Get in
too.
the jar. Oh my gosh. That
They're
was
all
crazy.
similar in size, but that was definitely.
All right. We got it, guys.
I was pumped. How did you
Yeah.
feel
And it was
finding
nice.
that? Because again, impromptu adventure.
Oh yeah, this was probably one of the more rewarding finds because
Yeah.
it was impromptu and we just used what we had researched about it to find it ourselves. You know what I mean? Like no one knew where they were exactly.
Yeah.
We just went out there. We used our knowledge and found it. It kind of tickles a primal part of your brain. You know?
It does. Like it brought me back to the turtle frog
Yeah.
video a little bit. Circumstances were definitely more in our favor to find this creature.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that treasure hunt of it all. It's almost like fishing. for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, I love fishing from the beach for our local game fish, which is striped bass here, and it's you got the whole open ocean to fish. I like fishing for them from the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to kind of use a little bit of strategy to find out where they're going to swim by, close to shore where you can potentially catch them. And this was very much scratching that part of my brain. It felt nice.
Yeah, you have to be a real student of the environment
Yeah.
to not only like locate animals and where they live, but actually like be able to get hands on, or in your case, get one on your hook.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, super fun.
That's defense mechanism. All right, let's.
So I had sunglasses on, obviously. I
Let's get
didn't
to an
want
area
any acid
where we
spray in my
can-
eyes when I was doing that log. Now I want to
It
talk
was
about
stinky. Yeah.
how uncomfortable that was. So I really got in there. And
Yeah,
it doesn't-
you were tucked up.
It doesn't look quite as bad from the angle of the camera.
Well, it's like you're working on a car. Like you're like rolled under the log.
Yeah. Now, let me just also address the fact that there's stinging ants, biting centipedes,
This
all
is not-
kinds of other animals that could tear up my back. Like I'm like back on the rainforest floor. This is not with like leaf litter and all the debris where that stuff hides.
Mm-hmm.
Spiders and stuff, snakes.
Well, we looking for the Thai bark scorpion. We kind of draw out the journey in the video, but they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Like when we turn on the black light, they would just be like 5. Like it's like
Yeah.
not a place you necessarily want to lie down. You know.
Little spoiler alert. Yeah, that video's not out yet. Coming soon. But
Yeah.
yes, there's a lot
It
in
was
that.
bad. It was bad.
There's a lot you don't want to get tagged by laying down. So there's a little bit of uncomfort from behind, and then crawling, like putting your hand in there. Like I don't know what lives in there.
Yeah. Jeez.
I don't know if there's a snake coiled up
Yeah.
in that log. There's no way to suss it out. And that's probably like, It's my whole arm.
Yeah, no, you were really reaching up there.
So I'm like laying down underneath this log, which I don't know if the log's going to collapse on me. This is like a rotten log. It's not like well fortified. So that was the other thing I'm thinking, like, man, if I disturb this incorrectly, I'm going to catch a face full of like rotten log, and that's going to be bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just a whole lot of reasons this was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, once you got it, we kind of scooted out back towards the riverbank.
And again, first catch from Violin. I don't know if they bite, scratch, spray. I don't know what they're going to do to me. Luckily, it wasn't that bad.
Oh my. Closer look at the Violin Beetle, Thailand. So luckily,
out
there's
there.
more where this
Backed
came
out of there
from,
the
but
first chance you got.
Yeah, I was like, time to go. Let's get out. Let's go back to the water.
There we go. Look at that. Whoa. Are you kidding me?
Really
Have
cool.
you ever
Just
in
so
your
weird.
life
Yeah,
seen anything
Weird
like
in a
that?
good way. Again, like
totally alien.
weird is a
Clearly
good word.
see
Yep.
why it
A
gets
lot of
its
times
name.
weird is a negative
Violin
word.
Beetle.
I mean, in the United States, you think
Like
of
a violin.
cockroaches as our big
And
insect, but
those
these
wings
are
on the
massive.
sides of the
Way
body
cooler than a cockroach.
Oh,
are
yeah.
somewhat translucent, giving it this lacquer-like appearance. So
And
I
they
would say
can
it's
fly.
accurately described. Now they
like,
do
please
come
don't
in
leave.
a couple
Don't.
different color varieties.
Luckily, I knew where a
This
few
one
more were,
is
so
the
it
coffee
wasn't like a huge
brown
risk.
color. Trying to handle it with the utmost care. They have a very potent defense mechanism where they can actually secrete and even spray
Really fun one to
butyric
film.
acid. I can smell
Yeah,
it.
and again, it's one of those creatures that was happy to just hang. Once it knew it was not in any danger of being eaten, it was happy just to crawl across my hand. And didn't bite,
You'd immediately
didn't have to
turn
worry
the
about
other
the sting. Did have to
direction
worry
and
about
like
the
that
spray.
shot.
Maybe
That's
asking
pretty cool.
yourself,
Yeah,
looking
it's a
at
cool
the
shot.
size of this insect.
And just cool environment overall, like being in
As it
a
grows, actually,
national
no,
park in
they
the
can
middle
get
of
up to double
Thailand.
Yeah.
this size.
in the mountains.
Now, getting a closer look. Oh, whoa.
Now, do you know where they spray their acid from?
They secrete the acid from the abdomen. And my guess is from underneath. I'm actually going to try to pin the beetle so we can see the underside and maybe we can see it spray. See that abdomen right
Putting on
there?
glasses there just in case
Yeah.
you
Likely
get a
secretes
eye full of acid.
that butyric acid.
So another
from the back of the
creature I've
abdomen.
worked with before is a vinegaroon.
Mm.
So they have a very similar spray defense mechanism where they'll spray acid, and it smells almost
It's got a
identical.
huge waft of it, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's the same
I also wanna show
same
you, look at
chemical
this.
mixture that they're using.
Center
Butyric
thorax.
acid, I think.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
This beetle, it's got like serrated edges. It almost looks like a knife on both sides of it. It's
So
super
vinegaroon, for
bizarre.
those who don't
This-
know, is a
that
species of
head
whiptail
and neck
scorpion that lives in the
elongated.
desert.
It's like a
Really
giraffe
hardcore
almost.
looking.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a giant
Could
assassin
try to film
bug.
another one of those
It's
next
a-
time we go to Arizona.
That'd be fun.
Haven't
I'd
filmed
like to
one
see
of those
one.
in a
Yeah,
It's a
I don't think I've gotten
mantis.
hand
This
or
is
gotten close to one
truly
before.
the
Little fun
territory
fact: first
of
video I
bizarre
ever
insects.
hosted for Brave
Easily
Wilderness
the
in the
most
field was of a
unique-looking
vinegaroon.
insect
Oh, cool.
that I've
Yeah,
ever held.
we should go back and watch that sometime and see how bad my
You can see it has
performance
very
was.
That'd be
long
fun.
antenna. It's going to be using those as sensories to navigate through the environment, and you can see how flat it is. Look at how flat its body is. It's specifically designed to fit between bark and bracketed fungus.
look how two
Between
dimensional
those two beady little eyes and those long horns.
Yeah, it's like somebody took a
antenna,
beetle and squashed
there's a
it.
set of jaws in the center of
And
the
the head
face.
is flat.
These violin beetles are great predators. It doesn't seem to be too dangerous, but you never can be too careful when you're dealing with exotic insects in uncharted territory. How about that? I would
So
call that
dispelled a little
very
bit of the
successful
fear
adventure out
from
here
this.
in
You'll be
Camden
okay.
National
Yeah, you're gonna be
Park
okay.
in
These
Southwest
are not
Thailand, coming
insects to
across
worry about.
What is, in my opinion,
I wouldn't
the
like
most bizarre
hold it up to your
insect
eyeball.
Yeah.
You know.
the violin beetle. All right, let's put the beetle back under the log and head home.
I feel like it definitely had some local legend effect, you know, like,
For sure.
yeah.
That was a good one, man. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was a win. That's definitely a case of getting lemons from the environment and making some lemonade.
Yeah, that was definitely like fist pump one after we were like, yes,
Got one.
Yeah.
Got one. Because we were like, you know,
kind of nervous of how dry it was. Like when we were driving in, it was like autumn. It was like fall. Like everything was brown and all the leaves were brown on the ground. It's like,
all right, let's go to top comments. Holy F, that spider was the biggest one indeed, and that violin bug looks like a flat assassin bug on steroids.
that's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah, it does look a little bit like an assassin bug. Certainly not nearly as dangerous. It's not going to bite you.
Yep. Same kind of silhouette.
But man, that
Much bigger. Much bigger.
spider, I mean, if you spread it all the way out, it was small side plate. It was
Yeah.
huge. All right, I Love Cats says, the first time I've ever heard of a violin beetle. They're so cool looking and nice and reassuring that they do not bite. With the toxic acid, it may not be as friendly they can spray poison, but I wonder if the odor is worse than other stink bugs I've seen. It's definitely worse than stink bugs.
Oh yeah.
It's a really big spider, extremely cool looking. Well, that's a nice comment, and I have to say it's always fun when you go to a new place and there's an unexpected animal that
Oh
you get to
yeah.
film. Whereas, like, the turtle frog, we specifically went to Perth, Australia to go film that. This is one that was way out of left field, and again, a circumstance of things not going well and then turning it into a win.
Oh yeah. Makes you realize how big the natural world is. Like we didn't know about it before we had got to Thailand, and it just presented itself, and it ended up being a pretty good video.
There have been a few moments in the past, now 11, going on 11 years of Brave Wilderness, been a few moments where I've felt, specifically the last probably 3 or 4 years, that we've kind of done a lot, and there may not be a ton left. And then you just go to a new place and boom.
There's new stuff.
Yeah. And what's weird is, the reaches of the internet and Google are actually a lot more limited than most people give it credit for. Like, if you search top 10 weirdest animals, you're going to skim the surface and you're going to only really uncover the stuff that's well known.
Yeah, exactly.
The real weird stuff, the really bizarre creatures.
No one's out there looking. No one's really gotten eyes on them very well.
Yeah, they're beyond the reach of Google. And a lot of, not to say that you can't Google Violin Beetle and find out, you can, but it's not going to hit the top 10 list.
Yeah, it's not a household name, like, in terms of insects, like.
And how many species have we been the ones to film, like, the first really high quality footage, like turtle frog?
Yeah, turtle frog is up there
one.
for sure. Yeah,
and quite a few.
I'm not sure there's any 4K footage of Violin Beetle either, for that matter.
Not like this.
Yeah,
that's for sure. And then here we go. Hassan Imad says you should make a video of those painful biting spider thingies, whenever, just to do a video on it. Whatever it is, just to make a video. Oh, okay. So basically,
it's on video. Yeah, it's worthy of the. I think it's worthy of it.
Yeah,
next time we're over there.
The orb weaving spider. Is that what it means?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I feel like I would probably be okay getting bit by one of those.
Interesting.
I might do it.
I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah, they are hard to find. Yeah, they're very easy to find. Like Costa Rica, it's similar species.
Yeah, this is one of 2 videos from Asia where we had a giant golden orb weaver find before our penultimate.
But this was the big one.
Yeah,
this was
this was huge.
The King Kong gorilla of orb weaving spiders. So let's end this video with a becoming brave moment. What was your becoming brave memory from this? Like, what was the moment of bravery for you?
Well, this was at the very start of our trip, and this was the first time we really, like, bushwhacked pretty good in Thailand. And there's definitely an element of nerves that you have when you go into a new environment for the first time, especially knowing that there are white-lipped tree vipers, and, like, in the case of the snake that we found in this video, non-venomous, but it just blends in perfectly to the environment. It's like white-lipped tree viper is kind of the same way. Just going into the environment and knowing that you kind of got to have your head on a swivel and really stay alert for whether it be big cats or venomous snakes.
Elephants.
Elephants, yes, they blended in shockingly well.
Yeah.
It's that was definitely an environment where it felt like anything could happen. So just being out there for me was kind of my moment, just going through all of it. What about you?
Yeah. Oh man. Besides sticking my arm and head underneath a rotten
that's
log,
up there, yeah,
to catch a acid spraying insect, I would say just going for it. You know, like we again filmed over 1,000 videos at this point. We've had huge wins, some decent, outcomes, and then of course you have some failures and videos that don't even come out. And anytime you just roll the dice like this, you're really risking that failure.
Yeah.
And to me, that's really the test of the Brave Wilderness team and teams, is the fact that we're willing to be in a situation where we have a lot on the line and get some intel and really go for it.
Yeah.
To dedicate a whole day, like, you lose this day if we don't find anything, and there's nothing that really comes of it, rather other than, the learnings of defeat.
Yeah. So, but that doesn't make a good video.
No, it doesn't make a great video. So, that's my becoming brave or moment of bravery, was to, collectively as a team decide, okay, it's not working out in terms of the things that we were hoping to find. Let's tap into the local knowledge and take a flyer and a risk and go down this creek bed and see if we can discover one of these violin beetles.
Yeah, the pressure was definitely on you in that situation to find it, because, like, when we're working with reptiles, we have some great experts that we work with, and to a degree they can you can always fall back on them a little bit, but there was no fallback for us on this one. It was kind of like we're just running down the riverbank looking for these things,
Yeah. And, this was...
Sink or swim on your own,
This was, I think... Was this the last video we filmed before we left for Borneo?
I think this was pretty early in the journey.
Or was it? Yeah.
Yeah, this was like...
Because we had the sting videos we were going to do. We did the giant honeybee.
Mm-hmm. I think that was after this. Because we got there and we realized it was so dry, and then we're like, we should probably figure out something to do today early.
And the scorpions and the centipedes were not cooperating.
Yeah, exactly.
We did find the Thai bark scorpion, which is, spoiler alert, very bad.
Yeah.
It's going to give the murder hornet a run for its money.
It is.
But, man, what a cool episode. Tell us, guys, in the comments what you think about the Violin Beetle and some of the your favorite animal oddities from the Brave Wilderness universe. We'd love to dive more into these in future podcasts on Becoming Brave. Quick shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Quick shout out to our sponsor, Summit Adventure Fuel, the official drink of the Brave Wilderness channel and the Becoming Brave podcast. If you guys want to get your hands on some really premium pro-level electrolytes that actually taste good and have no sugar, this is the product for you. We'll put a link in the description. You can also go to Summit Adventure Fuel or summitaf.com, and you can pick up some electrolytes for your summer adventures. I was personally responsible in the development of the flavor profile of this product, so you could take it from me that it is far surpassing the flavor profile and taste of all the other pro electrolytes out there. So if you like serious electrolytes, but you don't like the nasty taste or the salt water, this is the one. Check it out. You won't be sorry. Check out the new merch on shopbravewilderness.com. And I cannot wait, Andrew, for our next podcast.
Oh, yes. Until next time.
See you guys soon. Bye.